Today I'm going to be taking off the rear wheel. I've removed the side panel. It's probably possible to do that without removing the side panel, but I wouldn't like to try that. So I've removed the side panel, and we're going to, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the exhaust muffler there, and then you'll need to do this with the standard muffler. Basically, if I remember, it's 2 bolts underneath and 1 on the top to do that, and then there is on the standard one there's a bolt there to slacken off the up pipe, and you would just pull it off. So I'm going to take off my Scorpion muffler, and then we'll look at what's next. So that's the muffler out the way, and you've got free access to the wheel nut there, which when you slacken that, you'll be needing someone to hold the rear brake for you just to get the wheel to hold still. We've then got 2 nuts there, and you can see the shock is held on here, but also it's only held on with the 1 bolt at the top. So the option looks as though we can take that off and leave it attached to this framework here. I'm going to disconnect the mud guard here, which is on these 2 bolts. Well, they're threaded actually, there's no nut on the back, so I'll get those out, and that will allow the framework to disconnect from the mud guard here. So thinking it through, no need to remove that bracket, but this bolt was quite easy to get at and take off, so I've taken off the shock there, and I've just tied it back on the panel fixing there to keep it out of the way. I've now removed both the arm bracket bolts there, and as you can see, that's left that swinging around the main nut, which I'm now going to take off. Now, as I say, I got the wife to hold the brake and to slacken this nut. Once it's off, it's fairly straightforward, and I'm thinking that should just come off. Don't forget there's a spacer in there. Now, to undo the hex set screws that are in the wheel there, you'll need a 12mm hex headed socket like that. Now, I bought that set of 6 from Screwfix for £9.99, so if you haven't got one, you can just pop out and get one. Well, I've just got the first one of those out, and I've got to say they're extremely tight, so you'll probably need to extend your socket arm to get them out. Well, that's the wheel off now. Just manoeuvre it out and clean it up now, and do what I intend to do with it. Straightforward in some ways, but I would say the most difficult part was taking those screws out, because they are in really well. So that's how to take your wheel off. Just a couple of tips. Instead of getting my wife to hold the brake while I was working, I put the security caps lock on the brake, and that held the wheel for me. And the second thing is, with those long hex head set screws in the wheel, get yourself something of a reasonable length, or extend your own socket wrench, but this is a torque wrench which I use to take them off. So that's the wheel off. I'd like to hear your comments in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe and like, it's important, and I'll see you when we do another video. Thanks very much for watching. Bye now.